Hello and welcome, everyone. It takes me a great pleasure to announce that today is the 31st day, and something that I planned in February has come to a successful end. I decided to put one video every day in the month of March, and I have completed that target. And today, what I want to do is to do a recap of all the videos that I have done so you can see what all different content that has come up in just 1 month. And it also goes to show that if you decide something, you can achieve it. I decided to make one video a day after work, and I have completed that. All the videos were done at 8 p.m. Perth time, and you can see all these videos on my YouTube channel, on LinkedIn or Facebook, or some on Instagram as well. So I want to go through all the videos that I've done and just recap of what is it that I covered in that video. So if you think any of this is relevant to you or you could learn from this, this will be like a repository for you to check all these videos. The links to all the videos that I'm going to talk about today is there in the description of this video. So do check that out and review or listen to any of the videos that I have covered this month. So the first video that I did early on the 1st of March was how to read a PhD thesis fast. So this was a very hands-on kind of a video where I covered, I took an example of one of my PhD students and showed you how to read a thesis if you are going to read it for during your research. What you will also see here is on the corner, there is a QR code. So if you're watching it now and you think that this video is relevant to you, you can just scan it and you can watch that video right then and there. So that was the first video. Next video that I did was on how to draft a research proposal, because this is again very important for a lot of students who are pursuing their research. So what are the tips and tricks of drafting a very convincing and a powerful research proposal I have covered in this video. So do check that out. The next video is if you are interested in pursuing your PhD in Australia. So here I have shown you all the steps what are required to prepare your application, and I also walk you through one example of a PhD application process for one of the Australian universities. So do check that out, and if you do come to Australia, say hi to me and come meet me in Perth. The following video was on how to apply for a postdoc position in Australia. So if you have completed your PhD and you're thinking that you want to do a PhD, a postdoc in Australia, then this video is for you. So make sure that you watch the entire video, because I have picked up one example, a job application, that a real job application that was advertised on seek.com.au website. And from there, I have shown you what all is needed to kind of prepare your postdoc application. The sixth video was how to read journal paper fast. So if you are doing your literature review, one of the things that you would need to do is to review a number of journal articles to understand how or what they have covered, what was the problem they addressed, what was the proposal, what was the solution that they developed, and so on. So look at the tips that I have given in this video and speed up your research. The sixth one was to how to find a research supervisor. So I often get a lot of questions from prospective PhD students that they want to pursue their PhD and they want me to be their supervisor. So if you are planning to do your PhD and you're looking for a potential supervisor, this video can help you to answer some of the questions that you may have and also provide you some guidance on what is it that you can do to get a favorable response from the supervisor with whom you want to pursue your research. From seventh video onwards, I started to focus a lot on industry-based research. So we started with the basics of what is industry-focused research and why is it important, and so on and so forth. The reason why I did this was, personally, I am involved in a lot of industry-focused or industry-funded research. So I have a lot to share based on my experience. And overall global trend in terms of research is progressing towards from pure academic research to industry based or industry funded research. So these some of these videos were on that topic. The next video was why is industry research relevant? So I shared my thoughts, my experience on how I identify industry project, why do I do industry funded research, and so on. Next was, and this is probably a challenging bit for somebody who has not done industry funded research, is how to approach industry partners and secure funding from them to do industry based research. So this is probably a very useful, insightful video, because here I share my experience on how I approached various industry partners and how I have raised millions of dollars in research grants from industry. Okay, so do check out this video and this whole series of industry based research videos. Next was how to find industry research problems. It is not just industry approaching or finding an industry partner, but also identifying what problem is worth solving from your perspective as well. So industry may have a lot of problems, but you need to be selective of what kind of problem you want to work on, because it should also add some value to your career, to your CV, in terms of the impactful problems that you have solved. So do listen to this video as well. So those were the first 10 videos. Now we looked at some of the two-part series I did here, which was on industry versus academic research and what are the differences or how you should think differently in terms of methodology when you are doing industry-based research. So there was part 1 of this. Then there was a part 2, because it was I had to cover quite a bit of things here. So I split that into 2 parts. Next one, I talked about the benefits of industry research for PhD students. And a lot of my students are actually either funded by an industry partner or their research that they do has an application to industry. So we do pick up problems from industry and we do industry focused research. I personally do. I get my PhD students also to work on practical, impactful, industry based research. So do check out my thoughts on that topic in this video. The next one is how to apply industry research grants. So there are many types of grants that are available, and those that are, I guess, industry focused are they can come at any time. They are not like periodically like some of the other standard grants that are available in Australia. Industry grants can come up anytime, so you always have to keep an eye on which is the new grant that is coming up, or if it has come up, you have to prepare your application quickly and then submit. So listen to that if you want to pursue industry-based funding. Next important part is what do grant reviewers look for in your grant application. So if you're preparing a grant application, considering what the reviewers may be looking for and incorporating that in your grant application, your application will have a very high chance of success. So listen to me on my suggestions on this topic here. Then I talked about different types of research grants. So the industry bit was finished. Now we moved on to general, all different types of grants that are available and those that you can apply. So do listen to this as well. Next, we moved on to I did some videos on professional development for students. And this applies to if you are a PhD student, if you are doing masters or your bachelor's. So these are some of the things that you should have in mind. You should know that these are the things that you should do, and you should plan these things during your study. So if you're doing your bachelor's degree, what professional development can you do during that year, during those years? When you're in master's, what you can do? When you're in PhD, what you can do? So I have discussed my thoughts and my recommendations or suggestions on this topic in this video. Next, we continued again on the research grants. So I had 2 videos here. One was on the part 1 was on linkage grants in Australia. So these are the grants where you have to engage an industry partner and the industry partner has to provide some funding towards the grant. So those are linkage grants, and there are various types of linkage grants. So I have covered all those different types of grants in this video. The part 2 is discovery grants. So in this kind of grant, the funding comes from the government and you do not need an industry partner to be part of this grant application. So what are the different types of discovery grants that are available? I have covered that in this video. So do check this out as well. The 20th video that was done, that was on career choices after PhD. And this comes up quite a lot. And first, I personally mentor my students on what they should do during their PhD so that they can prepare for a career post PhD. So if you are currently pursuing your PhD, then I think this will be very useful video. And if you can follow the suggestions that I have made in this video, it will help you in your career after you have finished your PhD, and it will also help you to do certain tasks or activities that I have suggested in this video to build up your CV strong enough that you will be very competitive when you're looking for a position after PhD. So do listen to this video as well. Next is tips for PhD supervision meetings. This is purely applicable to students who are currently pursuing their PhD. And if you are listening to this video and you're going to start your PhD now, look for this and also see the template that I have provided, because this will give you guidance on getting ready for your meeting with your supervisor and how to make the maximum out of that meeting that you have. It may be a weekly meeting, it may be a fortnightly meeting, no matter how frequent your meeting is, but you have to be prepared, you have to be professional. And how you can do all that is covered in this video. The next video is professional part-time jobs. So as a PhD student, if you have some scholarship, it is well and good. But if you do not have a scholarship, it is a good idea to look for some part-time jobs. But my suggestion is to first look for professional jobs. Although you're doing it part-time, look for professional jobs, maybe one day a week or few hours every day or anything, because that is going to add value to your CV at the end of your PhD. So listen to some of my suggestions here on what I suggest you should do. And next is student jobs. This applies to, I guess, any student, not just PhD. And a lot of students in Australia, they would pursue some kind of a part-time job. It may or may not be a professional job. So some suggestions for those kind of jobs are in this video. Next, I talked about artificial intelligence. A lot of students now use ChatGPT, Bard, or any other form of generative AI. And what is the proper, appropriate way to use it? What is acceptable, ethical way to use it? And I walked you through some examples as well of how to do it. So this video is also very relevant and it is very timely. Next video that I did was, why are you doing your literature review? This why question is very important because on a lot of occasions, it is not very clear, because you just think that as a PhD student, you think literature review is part of the process. But why is that part of the process? So you need to understand that. And that is what I cover in this video. Next is about motivation. And there are two parts in this video, part 1 and part 2, because this is one thing that can affect any student, not just a PhD student, but even if you're doing your bachelor's or master's, you may at times feel demotivated. So what is it that you can do if you are feeling that way? So I cover that in this video. Another video that I have done is how to develop new algorithms using ChatGPT. So if your research is in a technology-based discipline like computer science, software engineering, or any other form of engineering, and you have to develop an algorithm for a specific problem, then this video will be useful for you, because I have shown here how to develop a skeleton of an algorithm and how to prompt ChatGPT to give you as much information as it can to help you build that basic foundation or maybe 30-40% of the algorithm. And that is important to get you started, and then you can refine it and finalize it. So this is very relevant and very useful, especially if you are in the tech space. This is the part 2 of the motivation video series, so do check this out as well. Next one is how to make your CV, and this is very useful for everyone, every student. So when you are designing your CV, there are certain things that you should do and certain things you should avoid. So look out for this. Check out my suggestions and my tips and tricks on developing a nice CV. And next video that I did was very different from all the other videos that you have heard. And this is about brain food. And here I talk about what is it that you should do to nourish your brain, to make it very strong, powerful, so that you can absorb anything that you are learning. So do check this out and follow these suggestions that I have in this video. And the last video is what I'm speaking now today, is the March overview. So the purpose of this video was to give you kind of a consolidated collection of all the videos that I have done in the month of March 2024. The links to all these videos are there in the description of this video. So any video that you think is interesting or relevant to you, you can check that out. Throughout this video, every video I have put a QR code, and this QR code will take you to the video directly. So if you think any of this video is interesting for you, do watch it. And because I have shared a lot of experience that I have, and I think if you follow the suggestions that I have given, it is only going to benefit you in your studies. So that is all in this short video, a recap video for March 2024. This is the link to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to it, and also get your friends, your colleagues, others to also join my YouTube channel. All right, that's it. Thank you very much for being there with me throughout the month of March. It was quite insightful for me to see people regularly joining my sessions every day, and those questions that you asked motivated me to continue going forward. Not only that, having looked at the success of this series in March 2024, I have decided to continue this in the month of April as well. So do look out for new and interesting topics over the next 30 days in April. And I look forward to your continuous support and engagement with my videos. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again. Bye.